Welcome to another Capture the Siren 2015 Comp 1 exam programming exam solution tutorial. We're going to look at the big one, the one that everyone thinks is going to happen, and that is the addition of the Kashshaptu piece, the witch. Right, there's loads of possibilities of how this might be implemented. Look at the student room or the AQA computing wiki book. I think the obvious one is the Reddum to Kashshaptu. So rather than it going to a Marzaz Pani, it goes to a Kashshaptu when the Reddum reaches to the side of the board. I think it's perfectly possible they could ask you to choose between those two, or even between a number of pieces. I think it'd be quite nice for it to be completely free choice, same as it is in chess. Then there's like a whole world of other sneakier options that I don't know what they are. But I think if you practiced a top couple here and you understand how the Reddum turns into a Marzaz Pani or Kashshaptu as we're going to do, then you'll be able to work it out. So we're going to do it that when the Reddum hits the other side, it turns into a Kashshaptu. Simple. Now the sample game is set up to test this. Absolutely asking for it. There's Reddums right, within one move you can have a Reddum turning into a Kashshaptu. And we're only going to bother with the Kashshaptu. We're not going to bother with the selection statement. You could work out how to run a selection statement, I'm sure. I'm going to assume that the Kashshaptu move rules are simply a combination of other piece rules. This would really sort of play into the idea that good structured programming allows you to reuse modules. Is this hard? No. Does it require several steps? Yes. Would it be easy to mark? Yes. So I think this is a good question, possibly not the last question on the paper, but the penultimate question. So how are we going to do? So the way that the Reddum changes into a Marzaz Pani at the moment is that there's a selection statement in make move, and if a Reddum hits the other side of the board, then you can see there's an assignment that basically assigns a WM or a BM to that spot. All we're going to do is change the WM to WK and the BM to the BK. Job 1 done. The next thing that you need to do is add a select case option into the case statement that's in check legal move. So basically you add a K because we've decided K for Kashshaptu, and then you simply call a new function and you with the same parameter passes as all the other piece moves. Then you've got to create that function. In fact, it doesn't really matter which way around you do these two. And you've got to create a check Kashshaptu move is legal, same parameters as the other one. And as you can see, this is really lovely because you just simply call other functions. Let's have a look at the code about how I've done this. So let's have a look at that change assignments in make move first. So we've got make move here, and previously that said WM and that said BM. I've changed it to WK and BK. Clearly, if there was an option, this is where we'll be putting it. So rather than just having this straightforward assignment there, what we would do is have a further selection statement with a user dialog and further options based on an input. Job 1 done. Next, we need to add a selection option in the case statement in check legal move. So we'll close that down and we'll go up a little bit, and it's just here, bang. I'll put it at the bottom, doesn't matter where you put it, case K, and then return. And all I did was copy and paste that, but change the the option of the function name. Our final step is to create that new function. So, I'll put it just above to make life easy for ourselves. Whoops, too much. Again, I copied, I don't know, I think it was, I which one I did now, the Nabu or one of the others, just so I got the structure, so I didn't have to bother typing in these parameters again. And then all I've done is I've added a really simple selection statement, and I've said that if this, and don't forget this is a boolean, this, oops, can't select it, but this here, as you can see at the right hand end of this pop-up, is a boolean. It returns a boolean value. It's either true or false, as is this. These are all boolean functions. So if this returns true and this returns true, then we want our new function to return true. If either of them return false, we want it to return false. Either or both, I should say. Of course, if in the exam it says, oh, we want it to be a combination of this and, to be honest with you, these two combine everything, but yes, I can't just think what else they'd do. We have obviously looked at making the Nabu a proper bishop, but they're not a big fan of having sequential questions where one question relies on another question. So I don't think that'll come up. It's not very fair. So this is the most likely combination. Anyway, basically, you can see, play around with this, you can step through it. This and this would return true, otherwise it returns false. That's it. That's your solution done. So let's have a quick test of it. Oh, hello. Just a second. I've just realised I wrote an, that was and. I've just changed this to or, because obviously I want it to return true. I'm doing it on the positive. So I'm returning true on if either or of these are correct. Right, let's have a little test of it. Yeah, we'll play the sample game, and we'll go 1, 2 to 1, 1. Bang. Oh, look, we've got a Kashshaptu. Let's go 8, 6 to 8, 7. By the way, you really need to practice playing the sample game. Make life so much quicker for you. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. That'll be a Nabu move. Brilliant. Let's go. I'm actually thinking this is exactly how it would work. 8, 7 to 8, 8. Oh, look, we've got a black Kashshaptu. Right, let's do a Gizgagir move. So that would be 2, 2 to 8, 2. That'll be a really good test for Gizgagir. Bosh. Right, so we've just tested that this will move in a Gizgagir manner and a Nabu manner, and we've checked that both were capable of turning into Kashshaptus, and that was done in 4 screenshots. Yeah, that's pretty viable in terms of an exam. So I'm not going to bother sticking the code for this. This was so simple. You can look at the video and do the code for that. I think this is blinking likely. It's got to be, 50-50 that they'll do this. Of course, the AQ examiners know that we play this game. They enjoy it too. It might be a huge double bluff, but it'd be a huge double bluff for them to, sorry, it'd be a huge bluff, not double bluff. It'd be a huge bluff for them to have that little comment about the Kashshaptu in the prelim code and not actually use it. Hope you've been looking at my other pests, and hopefully you've been looking at the solutions on the wikibook, and of course there's the student room discussions. Lots of people have got lots of other ideas, but hopefully you're finding mine useful. There'll be more pests coming very soon.